Bonjour mes amis, hi guys, collection review. I haven't done one of these for a long time, so I want to thank JC for sending in some pictures, some background information and asking for a review. uptickwr at gmail.com if you would like to do the same. With collection reviews, I can only give you a bit some insight coming from my point of view, but everyone has to go through their own journeys. But anyway, let's dig into it. So JC works in tech. He's in his 30s, and among his hobbies is playing guitar, just like me. And I gotta tell you, JC, I'm back. I'm back into it. I thought I was cured, but I've bought a couple of guitars recently. I'm gassing for more, and I'm just trying to restrict myself because I don't even have money for watches. I have to say, guitars are somewhat more affordable than nice watches, but I feel guilty buying too many guitars because I'm not a great guitar player. I can copy famous solos, hold my own on stage, but I'm just not that good. At least with watches, you just need to know how to wind and maintain them. You don't need to know any more than that. And JC also collects record. I'm gonna make a video about music. I'm a big guitar guy, as far like guitar music. And if you want to know, as of late, I've been listening almost exclusively to Steely Dan, a band that somehow had eluded me for so long, but maybe my ears were not ready for it. And now that I've been listening to it almost non-stop for over a year, my son, who's 10 years old, he can sing all the solos of the most deepest cuts of any album of Steely Dan, and it's amazing at his age to be exposed to such complex music, jazz chords and all that. Anyway, JC got into watches in 2018 with his first Seiko, the SNK 807, if you want to know everything. I think I got one for my son as well, one of those. Very cool watch. It's where we love Seikos, right? And then later on, he got some reasonably priced watches from Hamilton or Orient, for example. And right now, his collection is mainly 3 pieces. He's got a moderate size wrist, a bit smaller than mine, 6.25 inches. By the way, to all you guys in America, nobody knows what an inch is, what a 0.25 is different than a quarter. I never understood, and I never will. Time to go metric, my friends. And he says that the joy of collecting watches is about just wearing them, appreciating them as works of art, engineering, and design. Absolutely. So his collection, Black Bay 58, that's one of his first. That was his first big purchase, and I did the same. 5-6 years ago? I remember the day I bought it. It was very, very cool. And they still had actually lots of sports models at the Rolex shop. He wore, well, not lots, but they had some that became extinct afterwards, like the Yachtmaster Rose Gold, very nice one. He wore it on his wedding day, and it's a lifetime keeper. Great watch. I wore my 58 for so long, and it's been dethroned later on, and now I love the 58 GMT, and we'll talk about that one. Maybe that would be a nice one for you. Then he's got the Rolex Explorer 114270, so that's the 36mm, the previous generation. So that one introduced the solid end links, the 3130, very good movement. And it had a slightly larger bracelet actually than the current version. The current one is 19 tapering to 14, which is very thin. The one he has is a 22-16, which gives a different look. And I like when the strap or the bracelet is a bit wider than. It's quite wide compared to the case. It's a cool look, and what he says about it is that it's a perfect watch. Disappears on the wrist until you need it, which always brings a smile. And that's a great way to put it, because I took mine on our big family trip to Australia, and I was wearing it all the time at the beach, at dinner, anytime, at night as well. And you go about your day, you forget about it, you do extreme activities sometimes, and then the watch is there for you. But you can easily forget it because it's very comfortable, and all the Rolex Explorers are great. The current version is 20 millimeters or 36. I have the 39 millimeters, and I just love it. Watch for life. And if I have to have one, that would be the one. Which brings us to the next watch, the Omega Aquatera 38, I think 0.5 millimeter silver dial, which has the coaxial escapement, very cool introduction of a great watchmaking idea by George Daniels into a mainstream watch. He loves the case, fits great on the wrist, superb movement, but after owning it for a year and a half, he's not sure he loves it anymore. Thinks maybe the design is a bit generic, and thinks about moving on. And I can chime in. Maybe you've seen my video where I compared a few daily wearers, and including the Rolex Explorer, the 39 millimeter, that's still in my collection, and the Aquatera. So I started with the Aquatera. It was my first big purchase. It was a great one at a great price, less than 3,000 US, and I sold it actually many years later for more. The one I had was the blue dial with the vertical pattern and no frame around the date. I still love it to this day. But I just wanted to reduce my watch footprint, and comparing everything, I knew that the Explorer was just more sexy, more timeless, more collectible, and I just loved it more. Yes, you don't have the date, but apart from that, you have a bit of a adjustment in the clasp, and it's just hard to say. I think it's just more sexy. What I don't like about the Aquatera, it's a great watch, I still love it. I like the new ones and all that. It's just the bracelet with the polished center links will damage quite quickly. It's nice in a way. It makes it a bit more dressy, so a bit of a perfect watch, really. But there's no adjustment in the clasp. They have introduced one, and it's not really well made, because when you open the adjustment, it's not very good looking. I didn't like the handset. To me, the handset is a bit too techy, while the Rolex handset is classy, is more sexy. And the Aquatera is a bit more techy. The Rolex is a bit more sexy, although the tech is equivalent, if not better. And the accuracy of my Rolex was much better than the Aquatera, which tend to run on the higher end of its expected accuracy. But I mean, I still wish I could have kept both, because I really enjoyed it, but I knew I was going to wear the Explorer more. So, nothing wrong, it's like having a relationship and it doesn't fully work out, or there's always something going to keep you from fully committing. Nothing wrong with selling it and moving on. Just say you've had a good time. I had a great time with my Aquatera. I have great pictures wearing it around Hong Kong and on holiday. Why not move on? There's nothing wrong with that if you keep in your collection the Explorer and the Black Bay 58. So moving on from there, JC is considering to add another watch. And the first advice, before I forget, providing you with this bit of wisdom, I would say don't rush and don't try not to add more than one watch per year. That way it will be more significative, and you will associate the watch to that year. Maybe there was a good reason that year to do it. And especially the watches you're looking at are not necessarily going to be out of production anytime soon, so there's not really a rush. And actually, the ones you're looking at, the longer you wait, the better price you're gonna get. But most importantly, I think it's something I'm trying to do. I'm trying to put one watch for a whole week now to really get to understand the watch better, really enjoy it. And it's difficult to do if you change watches all the time, or if you feel bad about not wearing a watch because you're wearing another one. Anyway, JC is looking at the Speedy, so the new version. As I mentioned, his wrist is a medium size, and he's tried on the black and the white version. And he says, bizarrely, yeah, the white seems to wear smaller because it is framed by the black bezel, while usually a brighter dial wears bigger. But I totally agree with you. The black one seems to feel more of the wrist, but both of them, the new version has the new bracelet, which angles right down from the wrist, so it wears a lot smaller than the previous version, the ones that I had. It's still a 42mm watch, but it's a sports chronograph, a classic one, and the new white dial is just so fresh. It's so beautiful. I know it's a bit cliche to say when you get the Explorer, the Black Bay, you should go to the Speedy, but I think it's great that Omega is offering this cool version. The white version is so fresh, at the same time classic. It's like a fresh classic, if you want. I think that would be a great addition, especially if you sell the Aquatera. There you go. You replace one Omega by the other. Yes, the black version is the classic, but you already have two black watches, so why not add the white one? And I think it would wear. It looks very good on your wrist from the picture that you're sending me. I don't see anything wrong with that. And the movement is now amagnetic. I think it also has the coaxial escapement now. It's very good. I love mine, and I enjoy wearing it. So that would be a great addition. And it's brand new. It's made now. Of course, you're not going to get a big discount, and they've risen in price. So that would be a good one to add this year. The other one I think just came out in January, if I'm not mistaken, is the Grand Seiko that you're looking at, the SBGW301, replacing the 231, which had some little issues around the crystal, apparently, with a bit of glue residue. And you had tried that one, and you were blown away. And it often happens to me. So that one has a cream dial. It's a dressier timepiece. I think it's, what's his name? Jan de Boer, I think, from Monochrome Watches, who calls it the Grand Seiko's Calatrava. So it's a bit the idea, right? A classic watch. And you feel that way. You feel that you're not going to get tired of it, but you're a bit worried that after a year you might change your mind. The thing, the Aquatera, understand that they make hundreds of thousands. They will probably make it for many, many decades. It's not really a collectible, so if you change your mind later on, you can always get another one. And the Grand Seikos, they always come up with other ones, slightly improved versions, and you can always buy the old ones as well. A few of them gain value, so we're not really dealing with things that are difficult to find. And when it comes to Grand Seiko, you've seen my channel. I've had a few, scratch the itch, right? Sometimes you just can't help it. Just make sure you get a good price. I know this is a brand new model, so at least get 15% from the AD, because if you change your mind, you want to resell it, it's going to be another 15% off. The Grand Seiko that I have definitely settled for, and my son loves it, so that's going to be his watch one day, is the SBGY013, the ultra thin, elegant. I love the case, the crystal. My God, it looks like nothing else in watches from anyone, from any independent or big brand, even from Grand Seiko themselves, with the great dial. It comes with a super comfortable bracelet, which is unusual for Grand Seiko. Most of their bracelet just infuriate me. Always something a bit wrong with them, or sometimes they just don't even match the end link. I think the one you're looking at doesn't necessarily have to be on the bracelet. But yeah, consider the SBGY013, because to me that is a timeless one. That is one that's gonna remain special in the Grand Seiko lineup, as special as a Grand Seiko can be. Because often they just come up with a new dial, and there's another special new dial. That one to me, I wouldn't want to have it in any other way than the way it is. So if you can get a good deal on one of those, consider it. And it's a bit maybe slightly sportier. It's not really sporty, but with the bracelet you can wear it all the time. And that's another thing I wanted to talk to you about. It's always risky to add a dress watch depending on your circumstances, where you live and all that. Sometimes we love them, but we don't get to wear them a lot. I only wear mine at the office pretty much. Although I really enjoy wearing them also in shorts outside. It's cool. It's part of the what people do these days, right? We like to wear our dress watches more casually. But consider both Grand Seiko, and as I said, scratch the itch. But you will lose money if you try to sell it, especially these days. Very difficult to sell anything. And it's also a pain in the back to sell a watch quite often, depending on where you are. A lot of scammers and a lot of time wasters. It's not easy selling a watch. That's why there are people who make it their job. So far that's a bit all my thoughts. I would say add one watch per year. I would start with the Speedmaster. Let the prices of the new Grand Seiko come down a little bit. You can never go wrong with the Speedy. They're very good. Will the prices on the second-hand market go down on the white dial? Probably. They always do, because the price is set fairly high. It's not crazy high, but it's fairly high. But what else is on the market that's comparable? There's not much anyway. Is there another watch that I could think of for you? I mean, people are going to say, this is all very conservative. Everybody knows these watches. Maybe you want some X factor. Well, I think the Grand Seiko that you like, the one that I have, both have a bit of the X factor. I think that the Speedmaster white dial has a bit of the X factor. Of course, there's a number of other brands that you could have, but I don't want to lead you on to the wrong path. I've tried everything. You could think about Zenith, for example, but they lose so much value, and I'm not crazy about the LVMH brands and the way they're handled, to be honest. You can always find one of those, 50% of its value, or even more than that eventually. I would really go for the Speedy, coaxial master chronometer. You got the engineering in that. The design is classic. It pops in white. Really a beautiful timepiece, and reliable, also very comfortable. With a nice bracelet now. I think it edges to me the Grand Seiko, and of course I mentioned it before. You already have the Tudor Black Bay 58, but the new GMT, especially on the rubber strap, I've been wearing that for over 2 months now. I really adore it. It does everything. It is also a master chronometer, and you have that extra complication, the visual of it, and that one to me, it's I know that modern Tudors, they've made so many new watches. They're all great. It's hard for them to keep the value right now. So who knows in 20 years which ones, if any, will remain a collectible. But for a daily usable watch, that one is one to consider. But you can't really part with your Black Bay 58, so that might be a bit too much to have both of those. I think you're right. I think the Speedy white dial, that would be my next move for you. But maybe you guys have a different opinion. Let me know in the comments. Don't go too esoteric in the suggestions. I think we want to keep this sensible, but let's hear it in the comments. And I want to thank JC for sending his collection review request. Thank you, guys. I'll speak to you very soon. Bye bye.
Patek Philippe, fuckers!